be a second consecutive NBA championship for your ball club. Now you're headed in that direction. How do you feel about it?
Well, I felt when he said it at that particular time, you know, you look at him like, what are you doing, you know? We just won the championship last year, and he said it that same day we were at the parade, so I'm saying, oh, no. But I think what he, as I understood it, he wanted to throw a challenge out to us and see if we could meet the challenge, and that's to try to come back and win another championship this season. We're right here where we want to be, and hopefully we can accomplish that goal.
It's been reported that prior to the playoffs, Pat Riley gave every player on the club a list of things that he had to accomplish individually for you guys to win it all. Could you tell us what he had on your list?
Well, my list, he just wanted me to get back to the level of play that I was accustomed to playing at. It's been kind of difficult because of the fact that I had the growing injury. But he wanted me to just be the team leader, to make sure that not only my game is ready, but all the other guys are ready to play every single night in the playoffs. And that's about it right there.
One final question. Everybody is anticipating a tougher game, too, for you guys than you had in your first game with Utah. Are you among those that expect tonight's game to be a little different than game one?
Oh, yeah, because they're going to play a lot better than they did right from the beginning. We know that it's going to be more physical, but they're just going to play better. And we're just going to have to match our effort or even have a better effort than we did in game one. They did some good things in the second half. I think we kind of played the score. But we can't do that in tonight's ball game. We're going to have to just come out and play for 48 minutes and not let them get any confidence, because as the game go on and more confidence they get, the tougher they get to beat in at that particular time.
Okay, thank you, Magic Johnson. Game 2 right around the corner, and now back to Atlanta. Last Friday night, the Utah Jazz did something they haven't done in 3 years. They won a playoff series, beating Portland 3-1 in the best-of-5 series. It was an emotional high. However, it didn't last, as the Los Angeles Lakers, obsessed with repeating as world champions, brought them back down to earth very quickly in Game 1 of the conference semis. Tonight, the Jazz have something to prove. Game 2 is next. From Los Angeles, California, where the fabulous Forum has been packing them in for years, we welcome you to Game 2 in the best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal series between the Utah Jazz and the Los Angeles Lakers. Good evening, everyone. Along with Steve Jones, Pete Van Weeren here at the Forum. Another sold-out night, another night of great expectations for Laker fans, and another night of high hopes for fans of the Utah Jazz. And Steve, for the Lakers, everything going as programmed so far. A 3-0 sweep over San Antonio. They blew Utah out in Game 1 of this series, and everything going along according to schedule for Pat Riley's group.
Well, it's business as usual. You know, the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1980s have not only dominated the Western Conference, but they've also dominated a lot of the championship play. And you take a look at what they've done in rounds 1, 2, and 3, and it's kind of scary. And the Utah Jazz, they're a team that has just won for the first time, so they feel a lot of pressure coming here to the fabulous Forum, and the people are walking around here with brooms. And you know what that means, Pete? They're talking about another sweep.
They are talking about that. The Utah Jazz in kind of a difficult spot tonight. They did not play well in Game 1 in this series. They've had a very difficult time in this building in their history. They've only won 2 times at the Forum ever since they've been in Utah. What do they have to do to have any kind of a chance of getting out of here with a 1-1 split in the series?
Well, certainly you want to get the Los Angeles Lakers in a more predictable game. You try to slow them down, get them in a half-court game. They have said they would like it to be more of a physical contest, but the Lakers have learned to adjust to that type of basketball, Pete. So the Utah Jazz are going to have to come out, and they're going to have to dominate the play. They're going to have to be the aggressors, and if they can do that, they will have at least some chance.
And win or lose tonight, Pat Riley is still guaranteeing a championship to the fans in Los Angeles. And win or lose tonight, Frank Layden will still have plenty of one-liners ready when this game is over. We'll be getting underway from the Forum in just a few minutes, but right now let's go back to Atlanta and Craig Sager. Back at the Forum, Inglewood, California, where the Jazz and the Lakers about to go at it in Game 2 of this best-of-7 series. L.A. with a 1-0 lead in the series thus far. Utah lines up with Ivoroni, Malone, and Eaton up front. Bobby Hansen, John Stockton in the backcourt. Their head coach, Frank Layden, with Jerry Sloan and Scott Layden assisting him. And for the Lakers, that familiar combination, Rambis, Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Byron Scott, with Pat Riley trying to guide this club to a second consecutive NBA championship. He's assisted by Bill Burtka and Randy Fund. Our officials tonight, Bruce Alexander and Joe Crawford will work the game. Bill Sarr serves as the alternate. And we are set to get underway from the Forum. First quarter of game one, Steve, was when the Lakers won that last game, so it'll be interesting to see how the Jazz play in the first quarter tonight. See if they let the Lakers get off to a rapid start again. Scott to Johnson, over to Rambis. Worthy underneath to Kareem. Misses the first shot. Eaton pulls away the rebound. Utah gets a chance to score first. Stockton has Scott on him. Ivoroni underneath to Malone, whose tip won't go, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar pulls it away. Off to Magic Johnson. Trying to get it underneath to Rambis. We're going to get a loose ball foul calling it there on John Stockton.
Well, Pete, you know, initially what you see right away with John Stockton, whenever he gets the basketball, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to send one or two people to him to try to stop him from getting into the open court, and then they're going to try to attack him at the offensive end. They come back to Magic Johnson.
Worthy from outside, can't get it to go. Hansen comes up with the rebound for Utah. And the Jazz will get another chance at getting on the board first here. Stockton and Magic Johnson, the two top assist men in the NBA, working against each other at the moment.
Well, Utah does all of this to, you know, really try to find Karl Malone. They've used all of the shot clock now, and Magic Johnson knocks that one away.
They'll put it up to 5 seconds now. There was only 1 second left when the ball went out of bounds. So Utah will have 5 seconds to get a shot away. We've gone 1:05 without a point. Hansen will have to force it from three-point territory, and the forced shot becomes the first basket of the night. Utah up to a 3-0 lead. So the 1:15 gone by in the opening quarter. Scott had the ball tipped away. Stockton comes up with it. Utah running their break. Stockton keeps and scores. 5-0 Jazz.
That's the kind of start that Jazz at least needed to get off to, where they would feel that they would have a chance to do well here. They're already done twice the total that they did in almost game one, and 8 points in the first period of play.
8 points in the first quarter. Frank Layden said after the game the Dodgers scored 12 runs that day. They had more than we did in the first quarter. Byron Scott trying to get the Lakers on the board. They can't get one to fall. Utah controlling the boards. Malone off to Stockton. Trying to get it down low to Malone. Rambis got a hand on it. Magic comes up with it. Byron Scott for three. First Laker points of the night. Jazz with a 5-3 lead. 9:45 left in the opening quarter. That's it. They'll take the baseline jumper. It won't go for him. Rebound off the floor to Rambis. The Lakers on the break.
Rambis had the right idea. He wanted to get the ball to James Worthy. Also wanted to get an assist to show him he's got a little showtime in him. Byron Scott back-to-back hoops.
And the Lakers have quickly tied it up at 5 with 9.5 minutes to go first quarter.
Now you see what they're doing. They switch on everything inside. They're going to let Mark Eaton work on his own. They get a foul against Kareem, and that's something that they'd like not to have.
First foul called against the Lakers in the game.
But everything that Utah does at the offensive end initially is set up to find Karl Malone, and when they don't, they'll try to find another option. This time it turns out to be Mark Eaton.
Stockton, nice pass underneath. Ivoroni missed the first one, got the second one. So the Jazz back up by 2 with 8:55 remaining opening quarter. Worthy, nice pass underneath, blocked by Mark Eaton. Worthy baseline jumper won't go. For the foul.
Malone trying to come over and give some help, picks up that personal foul and gets Worthy on the line. One of the things that the Lakers want to do, which they weren't able to do the last time when Worthy slipped that quick pass inside, is move Mark Eaton from side to side in the middle, make him make a quick adjustment. He got that block.
Worthy, who shot 80% from the line during the regular season, shooting 83% from the line during the playoffs. That's just a tenth of a point higher than his average points per game during the regular season. He's a remarkably consistent player. He has his first point, and the Utah lead, a 1-point lead now with 8:40 remaining. Stockton had the pass broken up by Kareem. Byron Scott, length of the court. He has 7. And the Lakers have grabbed the lead for the first time.
The Lakers' awareness to the ball is what triggers their breaking situation, and that time it was a knockdown and Scott all the way. Ivoroni from outside.
Kareem the rebound, off to Magic.
You wonder how easy it is to play with Magic Johnson. He directs Worthy around. Worthy ends up taking that shot. The Lakers get the ball back.
Rambis winds up with it and misses the shot. The tip by Kareem, no good, but the second effort is good. Lakers had 3 shots at it, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar getting his first 2 to give the Lakers a 3-point lead. A timeout being taken here by the Utah Jazz with 7:48 remaining in the opening quarter. The Lakers owning an early 3-point lead.
Earlier today, we had a chance to talk to Frank Layden about his comments about this was only going to be a 4 or 5 game series for the Utah Jazz against the Los Angeles Lakers, he explains.
Well, I'll tell you what, to tell you the truth, some of our media at home feel that I'm not taking the series seriously, but I told the same jokes up in Portland. What I try to do is fool them a little bit. I know my statement about whether either one of us winning and coming down here couldn't beat the Lakers. I know it really upset Portland, so at least they talked a lot about it, so it must have upset them. You know, I think from a practical standpoint, though, when everybody comes up to me and says, you can beat the Lakers, I always say the practical thing. You want to bet?
He's a dandy, Frank Layden. The Los Angeles Times had an entire column devoted to Frank Layden one-liners today.
Well, his reaction was not of a funny man just moments ago. As they get that timeout, they get Thurl Bailey, who's the other third of the big 3 in the ball game.
Stockton will take the jumper. And John Stockton has his 4th point. The Lakers lead once again a 1-point lead. 7.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Worthy.
They're trying to get Eaton out of the middle. They do. Now they're going to get an illegal defense. They bring Kareem out high, and Eaton has to come out and respect where his position is. Then he tries to drop down, and that shows you that he doesn't have the ability to dance. He can't get in and out of that middle.
So the first call of that type against either club. Lakers will inbounds it. Into Rambis, over to Byron Scott. The Magic Man. Falling short, Thurl Bailey with the rebound. And the Jazz have the chance to grab the lead back here. Stockton working against Scott. Sends it over to Hansen. And the ball lost by Utah. Magic Johnson comes up with it. Back over to Byron Scott through the lane. Trying to dish off. Couldn't get around Mark Eaton.
Well, he made a good play. He knew he wasn't going to be able to get it over him, so he threw it off of him. Johnson saves it. We'll see if Kareem can score for the Lakers.
He cannot on that one. Rambis keeps it alive and pulls it away in the corner. Magic Johnson dishing off to Byron Scott, who lost it, got it back, goes up for the 2. Byron Scott with a great recovery there.
That was my basket all along. I started this whole thing off. 9 in the period for Scott.
And the Lakers by 3 again with 6.5 to go first quarter. Hansen working against Rambis.
These guys want an illegal defense, and they finally get one, pull everybody out high, and there's James Worthy stuck in the paint.
So now each side has had 1 illegal D called against him.
You think this guy doesn't care?
He cares. Everybody has a different way of relieving stress. In Frank Layden's case, it's a little comedy, but when the game is on, he's one serious coach. Bailey over Jabbar, and he's good. Thurl Bailey with his first basket of the night. And it's a 1-point Laker lead midway through the opening quarter. Kareem. Hansen comes over to help out. Kareem takes the hook. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar adding to his incredible playoff point total. And the Lakers lead it by 3.
A little show and tell by Kareem made that possible. Johnson goes to the hoop and he gets an easy 2. Missed by Bailey.
Follows his own shot the second time. It's good. Bailey with 4. And once again a 1-point Laker lead. 5.5 minutes to go. First quarter. Worthy drawing the foul. Thurl Bailey committing his first. 3 team fouls now on Utah. And Worthy will inbounds it from right in front of the Laker bench.
Double pick now, left box.
Kareem trying to muscle his way past Mark Eaton, was able to draw the foul. That is his first and team foul number 4 against the Jazz.
Well, the Jazz don't want to see themselves get into a penalty situation here against the Lakers and then allow them to stop the clock and build a little bit of a lead here early. Worthy blocked Eaton.
Boy, Eaton has done a great job down there tonight. 2 blocks in this game already. Stockton can't get the jumper to fall. Malone, who's been very quiet so far in the game, unable to do it, and Kurt Rambis out-muscles him for the rebound. It comes over to Magic Johnson. And the Lakers now can open up a 3-point lead.
Well, it's 2 examples at both ends of what size will do for you, and you don't have to leave your feet in order to intimidate. Rebound to Utah Jazz. Malone will get his first 2.
The easy way. Karl Malone's first 2 of the night. Steal by Hansen. Off to Malone again. Worthy blocked it, I guess. No whistle. Byron Scott comes up with a loose ball. Rambis along the baseline. Nope, Mark Eaton pulls it down. Neither team shooting particularly well in the early going.
Well, Eaton has certainly been a reason for the Lakers missing some inside opportunities, and the Jazz, they've had to work harder. Thurl Bailey coming from the outside.
He's come off the bench to put 6 points on the board. Utah with a 3-point lead now with 4 minutes to go opening quarter. It is 17-14.
I don't think any of the Lakers thought game 2 would be an easy one for him. Magic Johnson for 2.
For Magic Johnson, his first basket of the night. Once again, it's a 1-point game. Utah up 17-16. Stockton working against Scott. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Now only 4 seconds left to shoot it. Stockton will take it from 2-point territory. That's a 2-point basket. The split was on the line.
Well, Stockton much better tonight. He was 0 for 8 out of the box, and now he's gotten his shooting touch going. So that again has helped the Jazz be more effective. Magic Johnson travels at the other end.
So the Jazz will get the ball back. Michael Thompson and A.C. Green check into the Laker lineup. And Michael Thompson has been a big factor for the Lakers, particularly in that San Antonio series. Byron Scott didn't have a good series. Michael Thompson picked up the slack. Stockton looking for Bailey. Found him. The jumper over Worthy is no good. The tip by Eaton is no good. And Michael Thompson pulls away the rebound. Lakers can pull back to within 1.
Right here, that's where they want to get Worthy going to the hoop. They get him inside, and he gets Bailey off of his feet. Whenever they get Eaton out of that lane, that's when they're going to try to attack.
That's the 3rd point for James Worthy, and it's a 1-point Utah lead. Michael Cooper getting ready to check in, as I'm sure you could tell by the crowd reaction. Once again, Utah using time on that clock. They're down to 5 seconds left.
Well, they're trying to find Karl Malone down deep on the box, and they use all of that time. He muscles his way in, but that's the whole purpose of it. He's talking camouflage here, Pete. All of those cuts and all those things are designed to get this guy a good position down right here where he can try to overpower his opponent, and you'll see the strength as he takes on Michael Thompson and gets it off the window.
So Michael Thompson committing the foul. Utah with a chance for a 3-point play and a 4-point lead. With 2:24 remaining in quarter number 1, there's a timeout. Pete Van Weer and Steve Jones back at the Forum in Inglewood. Utah with a 21-18 lead over the Lakers. 2:24 remaining in quarter number 1. Utah shooting a little bit better than the Lakers in this first quarter. The Jazz 10 out of 19. The Lakers 8 out of 21. Thurl Bailey has been a big pickup in this first quarter for the Jazz. They were not shooting that well early. He's come off the bench, 6 points, 5 rebounds.
Well, you got to call him a starter, really. I mean, you look at their team and you say, which would you rather have? Bailey starting the game, bring Ivoroni in and get no spark, or change it the other way around? And Bailey certainly has been a big plus for them. He's my guy for the six-man award, but there's nobody voting with me. I don't understand that.
Mr. Tarpley down in Dallas may be part of the reason for that. Malone now at 5. Utah now with a 4-point lead. Michael Cooper, as you see, is checked in. A reminder, at the conclusion of tonight's game, Steve and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. And a foul is going to be called on Bobby Hansen. That'll be his first. That puts Utah over the limit.
Wait a minute. Don't you understand? I was stealing the ball. That guy was holding me. He made a good anticipation, didn't quite get there quick enough, and that's going to get James Worthy on the line. The Lakers find themselves down by 4 points, and certainly they're not having that same mesmerizing and dominating effect on the Utah Jazz here in Game 2 in period number 1.
The series, of course, moves back to Salt Lake City for Games 3 and 4, so a win here tonight for Utah could really set the stage for a very interesting series. Worthy now with 5 points. And the Jazz lead a 2-point lead. A little over 2 minutes to go for his quarter. Ricky Green, who's checked into the backcourt. 10-year veteran out of Michigan.
Now, this is a different team with Ricky Green running the show. Well, we'll tell you what. Crawford has got a short temper tonight. He popped off that bench and hit Jerry Sloan with a quick tee.
It's Jerry Sloan that got the tee, not Frank Layden. Jerry, his assistant. Called for the technical. He's behind Frank Layden. Frank serving as a screen right now for Jerry.
We don't know if that's to keep Jerry calm down. Well, you see, he's still hot. You know, Sloan said, I remember that guy from Chicago. And I never did like him then.
Byron Scott missed the technical foul shot. And he's a 90% free throw shooter in the playoffs, 86% during the regular season. A minute 58 remaining first quarter. There's your score. Green over to Bailey. Bailey missing. Rebound by A.C. Green. And the Lakers can tie it up this trip down. Worthy working against Bailey. Michael Thompson trying to get around Mark Eaton. Couldn't do it.
Well, they
breaks up another one.
They had good hands to knock that one away. Let's see if they can score inside.
Hansen, a 3-point attempt. No good. Rebound Worthy. Off to Byron Scott. He'll take the jumper. Nope. Malone the rebound. Scott tipped it away. Loose ball picked away by Green. Green to Malone. Look out. He's fouled. Worthy committing his first foul. It's only the second foul. A correction, that's the 4th team foul.
Well, we're inside of the 2-minute mark, so the next one will be the penalty for the Utah Jazz. Anyway, Karl Malone runs the floor as well as any big man in the NBA right now. Anytime he sees a chance to run the daylight, he's going to fill the lane. He's going to make something positive happen. Put a lot of pressure on James Worthy. Gets his first free throw.
Malone averaged 27 points a game during the regular season with the 12 rebound per game average. During the playoffs, averaging 31 points, 11 rebounds per contest. 7 points tonight for Malone. Jazz by 4 with 1:10 remaining. A very different first quarter in Game 2 than these two teams played in the first game when the Lakers outscored them 24-8. Lowest scoring first quarter in NBA playoff history.
They bring Eaton out and allow Michael Thompson to show his quickness. The ball's on the floor. He's got an easy 2.
First basket of the night for Michael Thompson. Utah, a 2-point lead. Bailey along the baseline. Wouldn't go for him. Michael Thompson the rebound. Gets the outlet pass to Byron Scott. From 3-point territory, Cooper. Nope. Utah gets it back.
That's the area that Cooper has struggled since returning from the ankle injury. He's really not shot the ball well. Got a good shot at the basket, just couldn't get it done.
His teammates say they aren't that concerned about it. They feel he'll get that shot back at some point during the playoffs. He's been a clutch player for all these years of the Lakers. And it's concerning him a little bit.
Yeah, he's the guy that shoots and forgets his teammates.
4 seconds left. Boy, some hustle there by Cooper. They'll put 5 seconds back on the shot clock. There are 9 seconds left in the quarter. The ball went out just before time was about to expire. Hanson had to change his shot, couldn't get it to fall. Rebound pulled away by Michael Thompson. Ricky Green got a hand on it as the horn sounds, ending quarter number 1. And the Utah Jazz have done what they hoped they would do, play a much better first quarter against the Lakers. In fact, they lead it by 2. There's your score at the end of quarter number 1. Utah up by 2 here at the Forum. The Lakers, of course, don't lose much here. We told you at the outset that Utah doesn't win much here. They've lost their last 12 in a row at the Forum. And only 2 in 31 lifetime here, Steve, since the club moved to Utah.
Well, if you're a gambler, you got to say at some point, good things are going to happen for the Utah Jazz. The Lakers are a team that like to dominate their opponents here. You take a look at the first quarter shooting, you'll see the Utah Jazz had the better of it. Rebounds were almost even. The same is true of turnovers. We've got ourselves a close ball game. You can't believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to shoot that poorly the entire evening, particularly when they like to run as much as they do.
And when an analysis is made at the end of this game, when you hold the Lakers to 35% shooting and only lead them by 2 in their building, we'll see. John Stockton bringing the ball down. Ivoroni is back in there. Mark Kofod is also checked into the backcourt for Utah.
Well, we'll see what happens in the middle for the Utah Jazz and what player will be Ivoroni or Malone that gets a chance to get inside a lot more that Eaton is out.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. Bailey will take it from the baseline and hit it. Earl Bailey with 8. He's Utah's leading scorer. Jazz by 4. In the opening minute of quarter 2.
In that Portland series, Thurl Bailey was a guy that continued to come up with big hoop after big hoop. So far tonight, he's done it. They find Worthy at the basket.
AC Green can't get it to fall. The Lakers continue to shoot poorly. Stockton brings it down. Ivoroni. Count the basket. He drew the foul. That's his 4th point. Cooper committing the foul. That is his first.
Magic Johnson did all he could to prevent John Stockton from getting that ball inside, and we talked about whoever it is that gets the ball right at the basket is going to create some problems. Ivoroni, not known for his scoring, goes right up on Michael Cooper, completes the 3-point play. Jazz on top by 7.
And Ivoroni with 5 points with 11 minutes to go in the first half. Crowd trying to get the Lakers going now. Magic working against Kofod, gives it over to Worthy.
Now at this point in the ball game, the Utah Jazz have got the Lakers playing the kind of game that they control. Johnson draws the foul against Mark Kofod.
That is his first foul. And Magic goes to the line. Magic has averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 13 assists per game in the playoffs. He now has 3, and the Jazz lead it by 6 with 10:45 remaining first half. Utah trying to open up their biggest lead of the night now. Bailey working against Worthy. Takes it to that baseline, has it stripped away by Michael Cooper. The Laker break. AC Green into the lane, missed the shot, and is going to be called for the foul.
Well, Green was trying to make an adjustment all the ways. He tried to get past John Stockton, who was planted in the lane. And it all started with good defense by the Los Angeles Lakers. They double team on Thurl Bailey. And again, Michael Cooper is one of those defensive players that talks to you and smiles. So he likes the challenge.
Stockton along the baseline. No, but look at that follow by the mailman. Karl Malone with his 9th point. The Jazz have opened up an 8-point lead. Just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half. A 20-second timeout being taken here by Pat Riley. The Jazz have dominated from the outset here. They jumped off to an early lead in quarter number 1. The Lakers came back, took a lead briefly, but then it was Utah pulling ahead. Now they've widened that lead to 8. This program authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. Along with Steve Jones, Pete Van Wieren from the Forum, where with 10-12 remaining in quarter number 2, Utah leading it by 8.
Now, this is good for all Jazz fans and the Utah Jazz to at least be competitive at this point in the ball game. The one thing you have to know about the Los Angeles Lakers, they are a team that has the ability to play from the rear and crawl back on top. So Utah has to continue to be the aggressor in this ball game.
In almost every game the Lakers play, they'll give you one of those 17-2 runs. Magic Johnson got it to drop. He now has 5 points. The lead is a 6-point Utah lead. Just under 10 minutes to go first half. Stockton now with Cooper on him. Mark Kofod, 5th round draft pick. Only 5 seconds left in the shot clock. Ivoroni will have to force it. It wouldn't fall for him. Rebound, Los Angeles. The Lakers love to run. Magic Johnson, end-to-end.
You know, the first rule of defense is to stop the ball. They don't stop Magic Johnson. He gets right at the heart of the basket. That's 4 points back-to-back for Magic Johnson.
And a 4-point Utah lead. 9:14 remaining first half. Again, Stockton dribbling away. Till it gets down to about 6 seconds. Ivoroni taking the jumper and hitting it. Mark Ivoroni has had a good ball game offensively. He scored 7. Utah up by 6.
Now, at this point, Magic is looking to take the game over offensively. Comes back with the hoop. He can't get it to go.
And the Lakers having trouble controlling the boards. Finally pulling it away, Michael Thompson, who just did save it for James Worthy. He'll send it back outside to Cooper. Magic working against Kofod. It is Utah's ball.
Magic trying to draw the foul right then, and he didn't get the whistle. Eaton back in the ball game along with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Worthy out, Ivoroni and Kofod are out, Hansen back in.
Look something up on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar today. He has scored more points in the playoffs than 9 of the Utah players have in their NBA careers. To try to give you some idea, the only ones who have scored as many during the regular season as Kareem has in the playoffs, Kelly Tripucka, Ricky Green, and Thurl Bailey. Cooper. His first basket of the night. Utah by 4. Thurl Bailey can't get it to go, and all of a sudden the Lakers beginning to dominate the boards as they try to pull back into this thing with 8 minutes remaining in the first half.
What the Lakers would like to do is get it into an up-and-down game. They try to find Magic Johnson on the baseline. Back-to-back turnovers on Magic Johnson.
That is 6 turnovers now for the Lakers. They average 16 turnovers per contest. And they picked up 6 already with still 7:52 remaining in the first half. A timeout has been called. The Lakers down by 4. Here are tonight's Honda leaders, brought to you by Honda, makers of CRX, Civic, Accord, and Prelude. Test drive one at your local Honda dealer today. Very interesting that you don't ever, and very seldom do, see a Laker up among the top scorers anywhere. Very balanced ball club.
The Lakers have more balance. You look at those other people up there, and you'll find people that have dominated the basketball for their teams in order for them to win.
Utah leading it by 4. 7:45 remaining in the first half. Stockton dribbles that time off the clock. We're down to 8 seconds. Malone muscles it back. Still couldn't get it to fall, and Kareem finally comes away with a rebound off to Cooper.
Now that's a big effort by Karl Malone. Michael Thompson misses the hammer. A.C. Green cannot save.
And he wanted the foul, and so did Pat Riley. Riley is furious over on the Lakers sideline.
Now we've seen some bumps at both ends, and this is when it's up to the players to make the adjustments to the kind of calls that the officials are going to make. You can see Bailey comes in, gets a piece of the Thompson arm, but no call.
Stockton working against Cooper. Bailey behind the Eaton screen. A.C. Green called for his second. Second team foul call in the quarter against the Lakers. Malone will inbound it. Utah's biggest lead has been an 8-point lead. They're trying to build it up to 6 here. Thurl Bailey from just inside the 3-point line. And Bailey in double figures now with 10 points. Utah's latest 6-point lead. 7 minutes to go, first half. Kareem working against Eaton. He has been missing more than usual. Eaton pulls away the rebound with a bad pass intercepted by Cooper, who gets it right back to Magic, to Kareem. Underneath to Magic, lost it for a moment, and that cost him. Green follows and drew the foul from Eaton that time. Eaton's second personal.
When you can't move Mark Eaton, this is what happens. He gets right in the lane. The Lakers do everything right, move the ball. Magic Johnson trying to keep it away from the long arm of Eaton, and he's still right there. And when he doesn't move, he can get those shots from the side to rear because he's got that side.
A.C. Green with his first point of the night. Shooting 80% from the line during the playoffs. Green now with 2. The Utah lead a 4-point lead with about 6.5 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Worthy guarding Bailey. Malone. Whoa, what a shot by Karl Malone. His 11th point. 37-31.
They had 3 people around Malone the last time, and that shows you that doubling and tripling doesn't stop the good players in the NBA. Thompson.
Michael Thompson now with 4 points. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Utah maintaining that 4-point lead. Utah's led most of the way here. Lakers had the lead briefly in the first quarter, but Utah led at the end of the quarter, build it up to 8 points. Now trying to get it back up to 6. Hansen over Thompson.
When they're making tough shots like that, you've done all you can. Hansen, who normally doesn't shoot the ball well on the run, a tough running jump shot, or hook shot.
Hansen now at 5. Utah by 6. Magic around Kareem, puts the shot up over Eaton, gets it to ball for him. He has 7 in the quarter, 9 in the game. It's a 4-point Utah lead. 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Stockton will dribble that time away. Now it gets down to about 6 seconds left to shoot. That's when they kick the offense in. Out to Stockton. Couldn't get it to fall. Michael Thompson pulls away the rebound. Off to Magic. Cooper gives it back to Magic. Back outside to Cooper. He's been off the mark tonight again. Mark Eaton pulling away the rebound.
If Eaton could have pulled the ball down and tossed it out quickly, Stockton was wide open Bob Hansen.
Tried from 3-point range, missed this time. He hit a 3-pointer earlier. Magic Johnson underneath to Kareem. Eaton again a factor, and a block there by Bailey. Utah defensively tonight really doing a job underneath on the Lakers.
Well, when you talk about Utah's interior defense, it's all Mark Eaton in a slick pass inside, and Kareem tries to get the hammer to go down, tipped away. Magic Johnson comes in, gets him off of his feet. Thurl Bailey gets this block.
A timeout called by Utah with 4:35 remaining in the first half, and the Jazz maintaining a 4-point lead. NBA playoff coverage continues on TBS tomorrow night. The Atlanta Hawks and Boston Celtics begin their series at the Boston Garden. Bob Neal and Rick Barry will have it for you beginning at 8:30 Eastern Time. Steve and I move on to Denver for Thursday night's Game 2 in the series between the Nuggets and the Dallas Mavericks. Game 1 going on tonight. And Denver close to winning that first game. Only 20 seconds left. The Nuggets by 11 in the opener of their series.
Well, right out of that timeout, they come back with a quick play inside for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and they pick up the personal foul against Mark Iavaroni, his first.
And Kareem goes to the line for the first time tonight. Just a remarkable athlete in his 19th year in the league. And still very much a factor. 6 points for Kareem. A 2-point Utah lead now. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Byron Scott guarding John Stockton. Dribbles away that time.
Well, they're looking for thorough bailing. The Lakers do a good job of forcing to find somebody else.
Ivoroni is the guy they found. What a shot for Mark Ivoroni. He doesn't have many games like this where he scores. It's his 9th point.
Well, you know he's loving every minute of this when I can get a chance to work at the offensive end. Thompson goes for the fake. They get him across the arm. The foul is Byron Scott. Ivoroni has a chance for his second 3-point play.
And a chance to hit double figures.
If it goes like this will be one of those things in Basketball Digest or something where Michael Ivoroni says, games I'll never forget.
Never forget this one. 10 points for Ivoroni, a 5-point Utah lead. 4 minutes to go, first half. Kareem with Eaton there.
And what Kareem is trying to do is find a seam so he can work against Eaton.
Only 6 seconds left in the shot clock now for the Lakers. Down to 3. And the Lakers fail to get the shot away. The shot will not count. The Utah Jazz defense forcing the Lakers to turn the ball over in a 24-second violation.
The Lakers got guilty that time of not taking the shot when it was presented to them. They ended up getting nothing done.
One too many passes, or maybe too many. Ivoroni. Stockton working against Scott. Stockton through the lane. Couldn't get it to fall. The tip by Eaton is good. Eaton with his first basket of the night. And Utah's built that lead back up to 7 points. We've got an interesting contest going on here at the Forum. The Laker fans getting a little anxious right now, even though there's a long way to go in this one. Their Lakers have not played well. That is not a normal occurrence here at the Forum.
Well, offensively, they're trying to get some sort of inside game going. They come back to Kareem. He gets 2 more.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar now has 8. The Jazz lead by 5. Less than 3 minutes to go in the first half. Stockton. Down to Bailey. Back out to Stockton. Down to 6 seconds now on the shot clock. Ivoroni again.
The Lakers have taken the thought if one player is going to beat him, it's going to be someone like Ivoroni. He's accepted the challenge. He's got 10 in the period.
And 12 in the game, only 3 away from his career playoff high. 2:20 remaining in quarter number 2. Jabbar losing it, but it comes off to Magic Johnson. Johnson through the lane. Nice pass to Michael Thompson. Couldn't get the layup to fall. Rebound comes out to Utah. They got a 3-on-2 break. Over to Ivoroni. Back to Stockton. Short jumper, yes.
Well, the Utah Jazz are converting their chances inside. The Los Angeles Lakers are missing theirs. They find themselves down by 9.
Biggest lead of the night for Utah. They lead it by 9 with 1:52 remaining in the first half, and a timeout being taken by the Lakers as Pat Riley tries to get his troops going, and they have just not played well tonight, Steve.
Well, we talked about getting them into more of a predictable game, and they didn't have the quick ball movement and personnel movement in the first period. They haven't had it here in the second period. In game 1, what they did was move people around, particularly Mark Eaton, keep him out of the middle and make him react to someone going to the basket where he's not nearly as effective as when he is stationary, and that has been the struggle. And in the second period, they've continued to struggle because they haven't taken the shots that the Utah Jazz are giving them.
I want to remind you to stay tuned during tonight's game to see one of the entries in this year's NBA TBS Hall of Fans competition. That'll be coming up later in tonight's telecast. Believe me, it is not a usual occurrence for the Los Angeles Lakers to be held to 39 points in their own building with just 1:51 to go in the first half. They've shot only 40% again in the second quarter, 6 out of 15, while Utah has hit 55%. Those were about the numbers, the proportion of the numbers in the first quarter. So the Lakers having a hard time getting on track, but Steve, at practice this morning, everybody on the Lakers saying exactly the same thing. Game 2 is going to be a lot different than Game 1, but I don't think they thought it was going to be this much different.
Well, the Utah Jazz certainly were going to be ready for the Laker onslaught, particularly to fast break in, and they knew that they were going to have to slow the tempo down. They have been able to do that. The Lakers have not been able to convert, and when they're shooting the ball from the perimeter and the other team is getting the ball inside and getting it down, that's going to make a difference in your percentage.
One big reason the Lakers have been ineffective inside has been big Mark Eaton, who already has been credited with 6 blocked shots. He has pulled down 5 rebounds. Denver wins that first game. We'll have Game 2 for you Thursday night from McNichols. Now with 1:51 to go, Utah leading it by 9. Byron Scott trying to find a hot hand. Can't get it going. That's the 6th rebound for Mark Eaton, besides his 6 blocked shots. And Utah can now open up an 11-point lead.
With the unit that the Lakers have on the floor now, what they're going to try to do if they can get some offense going is outscore the Utah Jazz. They got a mismatch. Will they find Thurl Bailey inside?
Alvarone has been a big factor offensively in this first half. Kofod got the shot off at the last minute, wouldn't go for him. And the battle for the rebound goes on. We get a whistle.
Call a loose ball foul. Thurl Bailey looked like he and Thompson got to the ball at the same time, and the Lakers get the whistle.
That's 2 now on Bailey. First foul in the last 2 minutes. Just over a minute to go. Worthy out to Michael Thompson. Well, it was Michael Thompson that was a key man offensively for the Lakers in that San Antonio series. Let's see if he can get the Lakers back in this one tonight. Utah by 7 with 52 seconds. A 20-second timeout is going to be taken here by the Utah Jazz. So Frank Layden, one-liners and all, certainly has had his team well prepared for this game. Stay tuned for the Prudential halftime report. Craig Sager will be along with all the news, scores, and highlights from around the NBA, and a lot of news from around the NBA today. One of our old friends coming back into the coaching circle. Craig will tell you about where Cotton Fitzsimmons is headed. And tonight's feature, NBA expansion.
Who says you can't go home?
That's right. Skip Carey will be happy because he'll be able to pull out all of his lines about Cotton. Start using them again. We've got 51 seconds to go in the first half that has been surprisingly dominated by the Utah Jazz. Karl Malone has checked back in, replacing Mark Iavarone. Stockton has Worthy on him now.
Well, they're looking for Malone again, and what they're trying to do against Stockton is make it difficult for him to find him. They double. Kareem knocks that one away.
So Kareem with the block with 1 second left to shoot it. Look at that. Utah capitalizing on everything. Stockton now with 10 points.
Well, Stockton is as good as anybody in the NBA at shooting that little runner.
Worthy, another block shot by Eaton, his 7th. Stockton to Kofod. Kofod with a nice move. His first basket of the night, and Utah now with an 11-point lead with just 15 seconds remaining in the first half. 7 block shots by Eaton. Worthy didn't let that one get blocked. His 7th point. Utah will play for a final shot here, leading it by 9. Just 2 seconds remaining, and John Stockton went wire to wire to score his 12th point as time expires. And a frustrated Laker team walking a little bit discouragingly right now off the court at halftime as the Utah Jazz surprisingly lead it by 11. Okay, thank you, Craig Sager. And indeed, at halftime as the Utah Jazz surprisingly lead it by 11. Okay, thank you, Craig Sager. And indeed, it has been a surprisingly hot Utah team in this first half. We mentioned that Utah had lost their last 12 games at the Forum. The Lakers haven't lost a playoff game, Steve, here at the Forum since Ralph Sampson beat them at the buzzer there with Houston back in 1986. So if Utah is able to hang on and pull off this upset, it would be an upset of major proportion.
Well, it would be a big, big win for the Utah Jazz. They would have accomplished what they wanted, to split here against the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm sure that Frank Layden told them, look, fellas, just pretend it's Portland. You look at those numbers in that first half of play, and it's surprising what happened to the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that normally shoots better than 50%. They shot 53 for the game in game number 1, and they're shooting 38%. And the Utah Jazz shooting 50. The rebounds are even, the turnovers are even, but the block shots, that's the big difference tonight. And, of course, they've got an active Mark Eaton. He has been dominant in the middle. You take a look at Eaton, and when he is aggressive at the defensive end, he makes things happen for the Utah Jazz. He challenged James Worthy. Most of the time, he will stay underneath the basket. He came out high to make that block, which got the break going for them. And Bart Kofod with a tough tries up and down. You know, they had a defensive hero in Mark Eaton, and they got a big offensive lift from Mark Iavaroni. Iavaroni, who rarely gets looks at the basket and even gets enough time to get opportunities, turns out to be one of the leading scorers in the first half of play for the Utah Jazz, followed by some strong balance. They've got 4, where they normally would have 3. The Lakers have yet to have anybody reach double figures.
So indeed a very interesting first half. The Lakers down by 11 as quarter number 3 is about to begin. And Frank Layden's Utah Jazz trying to pull off a big upset here at the Forum and go home with a best-of-7 series tied at a win apiece. Mark Iavaroni, you're looking at there, averages only 4.5 points a game during the regular season. That's been the story much of his career. He's never been a scorer.
Well, you know, when you get into that mode where they establish you as a defensive player and a guy that's going to do the dirty work, they don't give you a chance to shoot. Iavaroni comes out and shoots just like everybody else. We'll see if the Lakers pick it up at the defensive end and try to convert some easy chances.
Iavaroni, Malone, Stockton, Hansen, and Eaton on the court for Utah. Worthy, Scott, Rambis, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Magic Johnson. Eaton scoring the first points of the second half. And the Utah Jazz lead it by 13. Magic gives it off to Byron Scott, who has Stockton on him. Kareem sets the pick. The pass comes to Rambis. Mark Iavaroni in the middle of the picture again. Stealing it and getting it over to Stockton.
Again, the Lakers passing him, perhaps making one pass too many. They come away with nothing. The Jazz inside with Karl Malone.
Karl Malone now with 13. And the first 4 points of the third quarter belong to Utah, and right away, Pat Riley wants to talk it over. Calling a timeout with 11:04 to go in quarter number 3. This is only a 20-second timeout. But Pat Riley has not liked what he's seen out there tonight.
Well, Joe Crawford and Jerry Sloan have kissed and made up. They exchanged pleasantries. You'll see a good entry pass right there to Karl Malone. Normally, you'd like to see the defense get there to help. Nobody's there. Malone has an easy 2. So the inside game of the Utah Jazz starts him off very quickly. 2 for Malone, 2 for Mark Eaton.
Yeah, the Lakers come out of their huddle now, having been outscored 4-0 in the opening minute of quarter number 3. The Utah Jazz now up by 15 points, and the crowd getting a little restless. Worthy back to Scott. Scott puts the jumper over Iavaroni. Byron Scott becomes the first Laker to hit double figures. He has 11. But Utah's lead still 13 points. Malone hooks it over to Hansen. Hansen from three-point territory couldn't get it to fall. Rambis pulls away the rebound for the Lakers. Down the court it comes to Worthy. Cross-court pass to Byron Scott for 3. Nope. Iavaroni kept it alive for Stockton. That's Stockton all over the court. Hansen tried to get a nice tip pass over to Karl Malone, but tipped it a little too far.
Well, the idea was there, and they had done everything right except finish the play. And right now, the Utah Jazz have established themselves as the aggressor in this ball game. And as I've said before, many times when we've done Laker games, the Lakers have the ability to play from the rear. We'll see if they can establish any kind of game at the offensive end.
Kareem over Eaton. A whistle from Joe Crawford. That is number 3 on Mark Eaton, who blocked 7 shots in that first half. So Kareem goes back to the free throw line. He's 2 out of 2 from the line tonight. He's seeks his 10th point here. 9:56 left, third quarter. Kareem has 10. The Jazz lead by 11. Stockton. Down to 8 seconds now on the shot clock. They go underneath to Malone. Malone has 3 Lakers on him. Goes up for the shot and draws the foul.
What the Utah Jazz like to draw the opposition into is getting very concerned about slowing their picking action inside down. They get a good entry pass into Karl Malone. Again, they surround him, but Rambis is there on top of him from the rear. That's his first team foul.
And Karl Malone at the line misses the first one. That's his first miss from the line tonight. In fact, that's the first miss by Utah from the line tonight. They were 5 out of 5 as a team in the first half. Malone now with 14 points. Utah now with a 12-point lead. 9.5 minutes to go in quarter 3. Kareem against Eaton. Well, they try to get Eaton in foul trouble. He didn't commit one that time, but Kareem couldn't make the shot fall. Ivoroni pulls away the rebound. Malone over Rambis. The mailman beginning to warm up. He has 5 in the quarter, 16 in the game. Jazz lead it by 14 again.
Now, what you have to do against Utah, particularly when they're shooting the ball as well, you've got to be able to fight fire with fire. You've got to score yourself. The Lakers have not done that here in the period. They've only gotten 4 points, and the Utah Jazz and Malone are out to a quick start.
And they just can't find anybody with a hot hand. Worthy missed that last shot. Ivoroni down low to Eaton. He puts the hook over Kareem. It won't go. Abdul-Jabbar with the rebound.
Again, the crowd here at the Forum is waiting for the Lakers to make some sort of break and spurt. But the game is very predictable, and when the Lakers play like this...
Magic got it to fall.
They really struggle from the perimeter. Magic Johnson got that ball to bounce.
He now has 11 points. Utah 12-point lead. Utah really has taken the crowd right out of it here at the Forum, the way they've played tonight. Been little spurts of noise, but nothing like it normally is here. Stockton to Malone and all that traffic. And again, he draws a 2-shot foul. Kurt Rambis committing his second.
Again, the Jazz use a lot of time off the shot clock to find this guy. And if you don't get to him, if you're going to double team, this is what happens. Breaks away with the strength. Doesn't get that one to go in. Pair of free throws for Karl Malone coming up.
Malone with 16 points on the night. He has now hit 5 out of 6 from the free throw line.
Well, he's really improved in his free throw. And you look at the domination of the Utah Jazz in the front court scoring. When he initially came in the league, this was his Achilles heel, and he's worked at it, and he's gotten better.
He now has 7 in the quarter, 18 in the game. Utah has built that lead back up to 14 points. Their biggest lead has been a 15-point advantage. 7:50 remaining, third quarter. The Lakers just out of sync so far in this game.
Well, they'd like to get an inside-outside game going. Kareem misses another sky hook.
And another rebound for Utah. Jazz been doing a good job on the boards tonight.
Well, the Jazz have limited the Lakers here in this third period to 1 opportunity, and then they've gotten the ball back.
Eaton sends it back to Hansen to Stockton.
Malone is begging. He feels he's got the hot hand.
That one wouldn't fall for him, though. Magic Johnson the rebound. Trying to get something going for the Lakers. A whistle from Bruce Alexander. We're going to get a foul called on Bobby Hansen. That is his second.
Well, Magic was trying to get that one in the air so they'd get a chance to shoot some free throws. But you look at the Lakers, 6 points in almost 5 minutes of play, and this is one of the most explosive teams in the NBA. So the Jazz have done a great job at the defensive end against the Lakers, keeping them on the perimeter.
They really have. The Lakers had only 22 points in the first quarter, only 21 points in the second quarter. Magic Johnson trying to get them going here in the third quarter. But Utah leads it by 12.
And the Lakers, when they've been down in the past, have resorted to a trap to pick up the pace of the game and force the other team to shoot the ball from the outside. Eaton rolls in, they'll call a travel.
No basket, Eaton traveled. As the 8th turnover for Utah. And a timeout's been called here by the LA Lakers with 6:47 to go, third quarter, and Utah maintaining that comfortable lead. Utah 12-point lead.
Well, Magic Johnson is a guy that can make a lot of things happen for the Lakers. He wanted a two-man game, so perhaps he could slip the ball inside to Kareem. Didn't get the angle that he wants, so he took it on his own, challenging Eaton and getting a tough shot to fall. But the Lakers need more plays like that, and they need less of this, the passing the ball around the perimeter and then shooting the ball from the perimeter against the shot clock.
Very strong performance so far by the Utah Jazz, who beat the Lakers once during the regular season, but that was very late in the season when the Lakers were without Magic Johnson for a game. Every other game, the other 4 games in the regular season series, plus the first playoff game between these two, won by Los Angeles. This is a very unusual contest at this point. And Utah muscling away another rebound. Karl Malone.
Oh, that's snatching it away. You know, Magic had it and beat him to the ball, but the strength of Malone just jerked the ball away. Magic Johnson matched up against Earl Bailey down low.
Now Utah can get that lead back up to 14 points. Down to 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Malone hits the deck, so Stockton takes it himself. Couldn't get it to fall. The Lakers get it back. We've got about 6 minutes to go in quarter number 3.
Well, what they'd like to do in the 6 minutes is establish some sort of offensive rhythm. They have no confidence at this point in their offensive game. Nothing is going for them, so they've got to find somebody to keep them close.
Kareem sends it back outside to Scott, to Cooper, to Worthy. Now the Lakers are pressed for time. Only 5 seconds left to shoot it. Against that tough Utah defense, Byron Scott beats the buzzer, but missed the shot, and Mark Eaton pulls away the rebound. The Lakers just unable to get anything going offensively. Malone has 9 in the quarter and 20 in the ball game now. 14-point lead.
Malone is the difference in this period. He's got 9 in the period. The Los Angeles Lakers have 8, and they've been able to build on their lead.
All of the numbers down for the Lakers. Magic Johnson, who averages in double figures in assists, has picked up only 4 assists so far in the contest.
Well, you can't get assists when nobody makes baskets. They look for Cooper for 3.
And Cooper hits the three-pointer. He has 5 on the night. Utah by 11.
The Lakers want a trap. We'll see if it has any effect against Malone.
They keep going to the mailman. He can't come through that time, though. Worthy pulls away the rebound. Lakers trying to pick up the pace in the transition. But Magic misses the shot, and they're only getting 1 shot at it down there when they do get down. Malone is hammered by Worthy.
Well, Magic was thinking foul at the other end, and a good opportunity for him to try to get Eaton to commit. He didn't, and that allowed the Los Angeles Lakers to be put in a position of chasing Karl Malone. And you'll see Malone fill the lane and once again going with a lot of authority. Worthy trying to get to the ball, which he did, but got him with the body.
Malone, who has 9 of the 11 points scored by Utah in this quarter, misses his second free throw of the night. He is now 6 of 8. Got the second one.
So you notice the tempo of the game. The Los Angeles Lakers have had to work for every basket throughout this first 3 periods of play. They've had very few running chances.
Worthy in the lane. And again, he missed. Michael Thompson follows. Thompson got the Lakers turned around a little bit in the first half. And when he went out of the game, they lost the lead back to Utah again. Let's see if Michael will make a difference here for the Lakers.
Again,
in quarter number 3.
They're looking to quicken the pace of the game. Good penetrating drive by Earl Bailey.
Foul was called against Michael Cooper. That is his second. 4th team foul. Puts Earl Bailey at the line. Bailey's first trip to the line. He's a good free throw shooter. 81% regular season, 83% during the playoffs. He now has 11.
You sure you don't want to vote with me for this guy for 6 man?
It's a toss of a coin. That, of course, is all based on regular season play, so one of the two could really have a terrific playoff series. In fact, both have had terrific playoff series. Bailey and Roy Tarpley for Dallas. Magic Johnson drawing the foul.
What we may see from the Los Angeles Lakers is perhaps more one-on-one, but quicker hitting type of plays so that they can get some offensive tries against less pressure, particularly if they're going to try to penetrate against Mark Eaton.
Lakers trying to cut the lead to 10 if Magic can make both ends. He now has 14 on the night. Riley looks a little concerned. Riley really wants to win these two, as you see Bart Kofo's back in. Because you get the Utah Jazz at the Salt Palace, they are very tough there. They lost only 8 games at home during the regular season. The Lakers had the best home record, losing only 5 times here at the Forum during the regular season.
They got the trap on again, and we'll see if the Jazz attack it by trying to make a penetrating pass inside. Right now, they're being content to volleyball it over the top. 5 on the shot clock.
Kofo takes and hits the jumper. His 4th point. Jim Brown drafting out of Kearney State. Getting a lot of playing time in the playoffs, more than he did in the regular season, and Karl Malone is there again. 11 points in the quarter, 22 in the game for the mailman. With 3:25 remaining, the Jazz have built that lead back up to 14.
Well, a good defensive play by the Jazz at the other end allowed Karl Malone to pick up another 2.
Cooper to Worthy. Worthy almost lost that ball. Missed the shot again. Boy, Worthy having a terrible night shooting.
Out of control, Worthy at the other end, and then they get a pass that's too long for Kofu. They certainly had a chance for an easy 2 right there.
Worthy was only 2 out of 6 from the field in the first half, and he has hit nothing here in the third quarter. Less than 3 minutes to go now in quarter 3. Johnson hooks it underneath to Michael Thompson, and Michael Thompson gets his 10-point. But Utah still up by a comfortable 12-point margin. Utah has led in this game for all but a few minutes of the first quarter.
Well, the one thing the Utah Jazz would like to do if they can is put the Lakers away. You can't let a team hang around. Eaton tipped that one, and that starts the Laker break.
Cooper to Worthy, and on the finishing end of the break, there's nobody better than James Worthy. His 9th point. And Frank Layden wants to change the flow of this game. He's calling a timeout. So the Utah Jazz stopping the clock with 2:25 to go in quarter number 3. Along with Steve Jones, Pete Van Wieren back at the Forum in Inglewood, California. There you see the surprising score to this point. The Utah Jazz have dominated things. Elsewhere tonight, Detroit wins their opener over Chicago. Michael Jordan, that's an off night for him, 29 points. Denver wins their opener. We'll have game 2 in that series from Denver on Thursday night. And now the Utah Jazz going back to work. Eddie Hughes, longtime CBA player.
Tough spot for Hughes to step in. They've got to move the basketball. They missed that chance from the outside.
L.A. shooting just 39% from the field tonight. Byron Scott from 3-point territory. Another Mark Eaton rebound. His 10th rebound to go along with his 7 block shots tonight. Less than 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Hughes out of Colorado State. Spent 5 years in the CBA. Played for 6 different teams. 5 seconds left to shoot it. Hughes dishing off to Eaton, and Eaton couldn't get it to fall. Pulls away his own rebound. Missed that one. Pulled away another rebound. He's got a dozen rebounds now. Lakers wanted a jump ball instead of foul called.
They're going to get the foul against a frowning Magic Johnson. They all tried to jump on Eaton to try to keep him from getting that third opportunity, and he'll get to the line for a pair.
This is not one of Mark Eaton's strong points. Shot 62% from the line during the regular season, 55% so far during the playoffs, but he hits the first one. He spends an awful lot of time, I've noticed, when Utah comes out working on his free throws. He has been a definite factor in this game tonight. 12 rebounds, 7 block shots. And he hits both his free throws.
That's for you, Pete Van Wieren. 2 free throws.
A 12-point Utah lead with a minute and a half to go, third quarter. Magic drew the foul as Hughes came over and tried to help out. Kofod called for the foul. That is his second. They had one to give there. It's the first in the last 2 minutes.
They open up the middle. They've got Magic Johnson inside. They get a quick spin move inside for Johnson, and that's a foul against Bart Kofod.
This will be his third, and it'll put Magic to the line.
Penalty situation, and the Lakers have not seen the penalty go in their favor tonight. 1:18 left in this ball game. Magic Johnson gets the first.
Magic now with 16 points tonight. And he is now 5 out of 6 from the free throw line. As the Jazz lead a 10-point lead. There you see the time left in quarter number 3. Kofod and Hughes now working that backcourt.
They're accomplishing what they want with the half-court trap, and they get a turnover.
AC Green got a hand on it. Lakers bring it down the other way. Byron Scott. AC Green's tip no good. 2 more missed shots by the Lakers. The rebound went to Malone, to Hughes. His shot no good. Michael Thompson pulls it away. Cooper to Byron Scott again. Short jumper over Eaton. This one does fall. 13 for Byron Scott. And the Lakers are starting to cut away at that Utah lead. It's an 8-point lead now with just over 30 seconds remaining third quarter.
Well, Utah has taken a passive position in attacking this pressure, so they've been willing to work the ball around the perimeter without trying to attack it inside. They haven't found Malone or Cyril Bailey at the basket.
The crowd starting to get into this game for the first time. Bailey with very little time left on the shot clock. A 24-second violation will give the ball back to the Lakers, who can cut it to 6.
Well, the noise was certainly a factor. No one on the Utah Jazz was aware of what was happening with the shot clock. There are 15 seconds left here in the third period of play.
Magic bringing it down against Kofod. Byron Scott thought about it from 3-point territory, tried to beat the buzzer from 2-point territory, and will have to settle for nothing. 74-66. The Utah Jazz have an 8-point lead with 1 quarter to go here at the Forum. One quarter to go here at the Forum. Utah has held the lead just about all night long. If you're just joining us, the only time the Lakers led in this game was for a couple of minutes in the first quarter. Then Utah took over a 2-point lead after the first quarter, built it up to as high as 15, Steve. Lakers trying to cut into it, but has only been able to get as close as 8.
Well, the Lakers were able to at least eat into that lead by going to a trapping situation in the half court, and the Utah Jazz allowed that to happen by not attacking the press. I'm sure Frank Layden will come back with John Stockton and Hanson and try to get the ball inside to Karl Malone, who had a tremendous third period. He had 12 of the Utah Jazz's 20 points.
Lakers still not shooting well. They were only 8 out of 21 from the field in the third quarter, but Utah shot even worse. They were only 6 of 17 in the third quarter. Fourth quarter begins. Scott, Cooper, Green, Thompson, and Magic on the court for the Lakers. A whistle from Joe Crawford.
They were going for an alley-oop to Michael Thompson. We'll see if they put him on the free throw line. They say no.
A rebound pulled away by Hanson.
Cooper was right there. Couldn't finish the play.
Opening minute of quarter number 4. Hanson with 10 left on the shot clock. Down to 5 left on the shot clock. Eaton's hook won't go. Michael Thompson the rebound off to Magic Johnson. Eaton pulled the ball away from him. We're going to have a jump ball. Laker fans not very pleased with the call.
Magic Johnson did everything right. Now watch Eaton. He has no idea where the basketball is. Johnson turns it on and is able to sneak inside. And again, watch the long arms of Eaton. He gets a hand on the ball from the inside to tie him up. And you watch him. Right now he finds, well, there's Magic Johnson. Well, he had a piece of the arm too. Jazz control the tip.
So Utah can build that lead back up to 10. The Jazz have missed the last 6 tries from the field. Going back into the third quarter. Hansen working against Magic. Karl Malone over Michael Thompson. Magic Johnson trying to get the Laker running game going. Had it tipped away by Karl Malone. Boy, the Lakers just can't get anything going. Utah is right there.
Well, he did everything right, and the ball bounced off Hansen's leg, and Hansen comes back with the hoop.
Bobby Hansen now with 7 points. And it took a minute and a half in the fourth quarter for Utah to get the first points in this quarter.
Right there, Johnson looking to get something going, comes back to Cooper.
And Cooper hoping to refine that shooting touch, hits that one for a 7th point. It's an 8-point Utah lead. Stockton working against Cooper. Forced the shot over him. Magic Johnson the rebound. Baseball pass to James Worthy. Worthy with 11. Utah says, let's talk about it. What was a 15-point lead is now a 6-point lead with 10 minutes remaining here at the Forum.
Court awareness has always been one of the special qualities of Magic Johnson. And after fighting for the rebound, realizing none of the Utah Jazz are back, and if I can just get that ball out there, James Worthy will chase it down, and he hammers it home for 2. And the crowd now trying to get themselves involved in a 6-point contest as you see what the Jazz have done at the offensive end.
Well,
the Lakers.
The momentum has definitely turned in the game, and a very important time in the game now for Utah. Eaton. Green the rebound. Lakers can make it a 4-point Utah lead. Magic. Nice pass to Michael Thompson, but Thurl Bailey a factor there. Worthy follows. James Worthy, who had a horrible first half, beginning to warm up a little now. He's got 13 points. Utah leads by 4.
Well, the Jazz have not found the middle of the court with this trap, and what they're doing is throwing the ball around the outside. Thompson near steal. Turnover against the Jazz.
Only 4 seconds left to shoot it. Hansen's going to force one, and he hit it. Bobby Hansen with a big basket for Utah. They have 9. Utah by 6. 8:50 remaining. Hansen has hit all 4 Utah points in this quarter. He has 9 on the night.
Shot clock at 5.
Worthy was fouled. Thurl Bailey committing his 3rd. And Mark Ivoroni is getting ready to check back in now for Utah. Ivoroni in the first half was a big factor offensively, scoring 12 points.
If the Lakers are going to make a move, particularly in getting some sort of inside scoring going, it's going to happen right now with Eaton out of the game, and they throw the ball right to John Stockton.
So John Stockton brings it down for the Jazz as they try to build that lead back up to 8, which is where it was at the end of quarter number 3. 8:25 left in the game. Utah has not won here the last 12 times they've played the Lakers. They've won here only twice in 33 games in their history. From 3-point territory, Stockton's shot won't go, but Malone comes away with a rebound.
Well, Stockton had to get that up against the shot clock, and again, they've been playing perimeter basketball, and they've been fortunate to get the ball back after they've had some misses or near turnovers.
They're going to play it that way again here. It's under 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Bobby Hansen has had the hot hand in this quarter. Can't get that one to fall for him. Michael Thompson the rebound. Lakers trying to get back to it in 4. They have trailed since about midway through the first quarter. Bailey with the block that time, but Worthy got it back. Fights for the basket, can't get it to fall. The 3rd try is a good one.
Magic Johnson.
Magic with 19. He missed the first tip attempt, got it the second time. It's a 4-point game. Byron Scott will be checking in shortly for the Lakers.
Now there's some confusion as to what they want to do against the trap. They're going to get an illegal defense.
And that'll be a technical foul.
John Stockton was telling Bob Hanson, cut to the basket. Bob Hanson was saying, throw the ball back out to me. And in the process, they tried to trap the interior defense of the Lakers. Didn't to make the adjustment. They get the illegal defense. John Stockton shoots the free throw.
Stockton now with 13 points.
That is the first point for John Stockton in the second half of play. He had 12 at the intermission. So they shut down the effectiveness of John Stockton at the offensive end in the second half of play.
Byron Scott back in there. Ivaroni in the paint to Bailey, and Thurl Bailey gets it to go. His 14th point. Frank Layden concerned the scoreboard is wrong here at the Forum. He wants the scoreboard changed. Now they've got it right, 81-74. Michael Thompson's baseline shot, no. A.C. Green's tip, no. And a loose ball foul is going to be called by Bruce Alexander as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar checks in.
Worthy over the top. Eaton is going to get back in the ball game right now as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar checks back in. Ivaroni will go out.
That's the third on Worthy. Eaton back in the game for Utah. The Jazz leading it by 7 with 6:43 remaining in the game. Utah led by 2 at the first quarter, by 11 at the half, by 8 at the end of the third quarter.
That's the guy they wanted to find, and that time they had him in a mismatch against Michael Cooper, and maybe the Jazz have now weathered the storm. At the offensive end, the Lakers want a timeout.
Malone now with 25 points. The Utah Jazz leading it by 9 with 6:19 to go here at the Forum. Tonight's Polaroid Picture Perfect Play is brought to you by Polaroid Spectra System, the only camera that makes time stand still.
Well, the crowd here at the Fabulous Forum thought that this picture-perfect pass from Magic Johnson was the start of something big for them as he lays it out for James Worthy, who chases it down and takes it home over the top.
Utah a 9-point lead, just over 6 minutes to go. Lakers having another poor shooting quarter. They're 4 of 11 in this quarter. They've made only 29 field goals in the entire game. Jabbar can't get it to go. Michael Thompson can't get it to go. Will they get a third try? Bobby Hansen came out of there with it, but Joe Crawford had blown the whistle. Against Hansen, it'll be his 4th.
The Jazz have done everything that they wanted to do tonight to keep the tempo of the game slow, keep the Lakers pressing at the offensive end. They've limited them basically to one opportunity and rebounded the ball. They come back to Worthy.
Worthy trying to dish off in the paint.
John Stockton.
Stockton called for his 3rd foul. 5:52 remaining. 4 team fouls now on Utah, so the next foul they commit puts the Lakers in the penalty situation. Byron Scott could not get that to go for him. Michael Thompson missed a follow-up. The rebound trying to be kept alive by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Scott is down. He went in real hard. We're probably going to have a break in the action right now, but he went in, tried to hammer that one home over Mark Eaton. Took a good shot. No whistle for him.
And we'll take another look at this.
Hey, watch Scott. He sees that the lane is open, and he's going to challenge Mark Eaton. Eaton is retreating, and he goes up hard, and what happens underneath is he goes over the top of Karl Malone and falls hard to the floor. Malone doesn't go up, but he turns slightly, and this is what throws Byron Scott off his feet, and he goes down hard.
He is still being tended to by Gary Beatty, the Laker trainer. Scott up on his feet now. Byron Scott averaged 21 points a game during the regular season. He has not yet had one game in the playoffs where he scored any more than 19. So they were waiting for him to heat up in this playoff series, as they were in the San Antonio series.
He got off to a good start. He had 9 first-period points, but then they started trying to challenge inside and not taking the opportunity that was there for them from the perimeter. He has not really got his stroke going. He had 4 points in that third period of play.
There's your score. Utah a 9-point lead, 5.5 minutes to go. The Jazz trying to win for just the third time in their history at the Forum. The Lakers trying to keep alive a playoff winning streak that has been going on since 1986. That was the last time they lost here. Ralph Sampson's game that he beat him at the buzzer. Since then, they've won 13 straight home playoff games.
Well, in both cases, you know, eventually a streak is going to come to an end. And for the Utah Jazz, who have seen very low winning here at the Forum, they know that the longer they play here, eventually they're going to get a win. Tonight they've had control of the ball game and done everything that they'd want to do. Byron Scott had some choice words as you see the offensive rebounding. The Lakers dominating in that area, not by that many, but they have not been able to get those second shots to go down.
Michael Thompson's been a big factor there. He now has 13 of them. 13 rebounds for Thompson to go along with his 10 points. But you're right, Steve. The second shots have not been going. The first shots have not been going. The Lakers have not been able to get any consistent offense going tonight. Mark Eaton's been a big factor underneath.
Well, they want to free up John Stockton to see if he can find someone inside.
And Utah's definitely controlled the tempo. Almost every shot they've gotten off in the game has come with only 8, 7, 6, or 5 seconds left of the shot clock. Magic Johnson trying to change the tempo.
Well, he was trying to find Kareem and was fortunate that they got the ball back that time. But they have not been able to get up and down the floor and use their foot speed and quickness to their advantage. Johnson again throws that one up for grabs, no whistle.
That's what he was looking for, was the foul, and he is furious.
Well, what the Lakers have to do now is they have to get back to playing basketball and stop worrying about the officials if they have a chance to get back in this one.
Kareem threads one to Magic, down to Worthy. Yes. Worthy with 6 in the quarter, 15 in the game. Utah's lead a 7-point lead, 4:40 remaining in the game. Utah again will use up much of the time on the 24-second clock. Stockton dribbles away that time, starts to make his move with about 8 seconds left to shoot it. Now it's down to 5 left. Malone with only 3 seconds left in the shot clock. They're not going to get the shot away.
That can hurt you when you're trying to hang on to a lead when you don't attack the basket. They use a lot of time just to set up, and then the defense makes them make some adjustments. But the key for them is the Lakers have not been able to come back and make them pay. They get an illegal defense.
And this will be a technical foul against the Utah Jazz, as each team has now had 2 illegal Ds called against them. Frank smiles about it. Byron Scott.
Now, if we had started tonight and said, do you think the Lakers would have 80 points at the end of 4, we would have said probably somewhere by the intermission or in the third period.
Pete Van Weer and Steve Jones with you from the Forum. Little over 4 minutes to go in the game. Utah, which has led this thing since late in the first quarter, owns a 6-point lead. Lakers trying to cut into it with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Another Laker turnover. Stockton to Hansen. Hansen hammered by Magic Johnson.
Well, that's what happens when you get people out of their comfort zone at the offensive end and trying to do things that they cannot do. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar trying to put the ball on the floor and beat Mark Eaton, and that's not his strong suit, caused this.
So Bobby Hansen goes to the line. He has 9 points tonight. This is his first trip to the free throw line. Utah now 15 of 17 as a team. Now they're 16 of 18. Hansen with 11 points. And the Jazz build that lead back up to 8 again with 3:50 remaining in the game.
Now the people are back here begging for showtime.
Yeah, there's been not much of a show tonight.
That's been blacked out. Kareem misses.
He has not been able to get that sky hook to fall for him. Stockton length of the court for the easy 2. He has 15 points. Don't celebrate too soon, Utah. It's a 10-point lead, but still 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, this is an important possession for the Los Angeles Lakers, and again, they still seem a little confused as to where they want to go offensively, where the answers for them. He's their big hitter in the period. He's got 8.
And 17 on the night. Utah's laid an 8-point lead. There you see the time remaining. Thurl Bailey in traffic. Back out to Stockton to Hansen. Now the Lakers doubling up on the ball, no matter who has it. Thurl Bailey's shot won't fall. Kareem pulls away the rebound. Off to Magic Johnson. Less than 3 minutes to go. Byron Scott. Nope, but he drew the foul.
The pressure allowed the Los Angeles Lakers to get into an open court game. This time for Byron Scott, he's not challenging Mark Eaton, but John Stockton. Stockton gets a piece of his arm, but he's able to get the ball up in the air, and he'll be on the line.
4 fouls now on Stockton. Michael Cooper is checked into the Laker lineup, replacing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You got more than Carl.
Scott with 15 points on the night. Make it 16. Utah by 6.
Look
Again,
where the
Jazz
start their offense. They started right past midcourt.
Lakers trapping the ball every time. Comes underneath to Eaton. No foul. No whistle. Ball still belongs to Utah. Worthy.
Well, for the first time all night, they got the good penetrating pass, but they got it to Eaton. He tried to go up and make the strong play. Worthy made a good defensive play to knock the ball away.
Only 6 seconds left to shoot it as Utah inbounds it. Malone with 3 on the shot clock. Couldn't get it to fall. Byron Scott the rebound. The Lakers have a 4-on-2. Scott all the way. 18 points for Byron Scott. Utah's lead has been shaved to 4 points. Timeout with 2:23 remaining. And the Utah Jazz have a 4-point lead. It's a 20-second timeout. This was the point in the game about 3 or 4 minutes ago, Steve, where we said it was a crucial Utah possession. They were able to turn it around, build that lead back up to 10 points. Now the Lakers have cut into it again. They've scored the last 6 points to make it a 4-point game.
Well, at this point, the Utah Jazz have not been playing to win, but not to lose. They haven't been the aggressors when they certainly have had an opportunity. They've gotten some fortunate breaks and been able to capitalize to keep their lead, but right now they have to reestablish themselves at the offensive end. With the exception of Bob Hansen, who's come up with some fortunate points for them, they've only gotten 2 from Karl Malone, 3 from Thurl Bailey, and they are their big hitters down the stretch.
Both teams shooting in the 30% area in this 4th quarter. Again, Utah starts that offense out near midcourt.
Now you see it looks like no one wants to handle the ball for the Jazz. They're down to 5 on the shot clock.
Malone, the mailman, with a big basket. 27 points for Malone. Less than 2 minutes to play. Utah by 6. To Byron Scott. Over Eaton. Byron Scott warming up. He has 7 in the quarter, 20 in the game. Utah a 4-point lead. There you see the time. Can the Jazz send it back to Salt Lake City tied, or will the Lakers find a way to pull this one out? Again, Utah using up much of the 24-second clock. Now it's down to 5.
Well, they're looking for Thurl Bailey right now. They got a piece of the ball. Can Bailey get it up? And down he does.
Thurl Bailey with a big basket. A big one for Malone, followed by a big one for Bailey, who has 16. The lead back up to 6. Byron Scott for 3. Scott with 23 points. The lead is a 3-point lead.
Well, Frank Layden has told his team, calm down, don't worry about it. Let's keep doing the same thing.
We have less than a minute to go here at the Forum. 6 seconds. We're going to get an illegal defense called against the Lakers, and Pat Riley is furious about that.
That's the heartbreak of trapping defenses, that if the people don't move and get out of that painted area, they end up with an illegal defense. A big point for John Stockton and the Utah Jazz is back to 4 plus possession of the basketball and the new 24 seconds on the shot clock.
Stockton now with 16. You see the time remaining. We'll keep an eye on the 24-second clock for you.
Well, they're yelling trap, but it's hard to get to them.
The mailman. His 29th point. The Lakers are going to stop the clock here with 41 seconds to go. And the Utah Jazz have been able to maintain their lead since the first quarter. Utah by 6 with 41 seconds remaining, and another big bucket, Steve, for the mailman.
All night long we've been saying find penetration and try to beat the trap, and Bob Hansen finds Karl Malone right at the basket. Nobody gets to him in time, and he fires it home. And the Utah Jazz have that 6-point lead. The Lakers have talked about what they want to do out of this timeout. What they've got to do is get possession of the basketball, and they've got to have more of those than the Jazz, who are going to work the shot clock.
They got it to Byron Scott for a 3-point effort last trip down. Let's see what they do this time. Magic to Byron Scott for 3. He hits another one. Byron Scott with 13 points in the quarter, 26 on the night. It is a 3-point Utah lead.
Well, they gamble very quickly. The guy that you don't want to foul in this Jazz lineup is John Stockton. That was a free one that they had that stops the clock, and that will allow the Lakers to set up again for their trap in a 3-point ball game.
Stockton will bring it across the line. Byron Scott on him over to Hansen. We've got 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Stockton is fouled.
Well, they told him to foul. They had that ball, and it was laying out there like a big plum. And if they could have just picked it off, they would have had a chance to go the other way. Scott couldn't react quickly enough, had to come back and foul Stockton, who is an excellent free thrower.
Utah beginning to smell it now. Just 26 seconds to go. One of the best free throw shooters on the team at the line. And they have built that lead back up to 5 points.
The crowd here at the Forum has been jerked back and forth. They all leave early, and now the game changes with the 3-pointer. They run back to their seats, and now they're starting to leave again as the lead is 5 with 26 seconds left, and Lakers timeout.
It's just been remarkable. Utah took advantage of a very cold Laker team at the outset of the game to take a slim lead at the end of the first quarter, and they built that lead up a little bit more in the second quarter. And then the Lakers kept coming back, but every time that the Lakers, Steve, have gotten to within, let's say, 3 to 5 points of Utah in this game, the Jazz have come back with a couple of big baskets.
Well, the Jazz have already had this experience with the Portland Trailblazers. They kept them shooting under 40% for most of the series, and in the same situation, whenever Portland was trying to rally, they were able to find someone to make a big basket, and Frank Layden right now is smiling and saying, fellas, we got him right where we want him. We'll see what happens. Who's playing tomorrow night anyway?
It'll be the Atlanta Hawks and the Boston Celtics. Bob Neal and Rick Barry will be at the Garden in Boston, 8:30 Eastern time, while you and I motor over to Denver, Colorado for Game 2 in that series between the Denver Nuggets and the Dallas Mavericks. Denver won the opening game in that best-of-7 series tonight. But we are seeing a very unexpected ending, it appears, here in Los Angeles to Game 2. Everybody thought that the Lakers would probably win the first 2 games in this series, taking advantage of their fine home court record and Utah's inability to win here at the Forum, but it's not been that way.
Well, that's a telling stat right there. No timeouts left for the Los Angeles Lakers of any kind, so you know if they score here, they're going to have to come back and try to stop the clock quickly, either with a steal and possession of the basketball again or the foul. So the Jazz are really in a commanding position. The Lakers have to strike quickly with the next 2 possessions if they can get that.
Utah by 5. Byron Scott has hit the last 2 3-pointers.
Well, Scott is the guy with the hot hand. We'll see if they get him the basketball one more time. Cooper.
He hits the 3-pointer. That is his second 3-pointer of the night. He has 10 points. It's a 2-point game. Byron Scott called for the foul, his 4th. Stockton will be at the line. 1+ for Utah is the only man that they've been able to foul. Going down this stretch has been John Stockton, one of the best foul shooters in the league.
Well, they've been able to get that ball inbounded to him, and he has made the difference. Now they get another shooter in Tony Campbell, but Campbell is set for 47 minutes.
Stockton is now 5 of 5 from the line.
If you're the Jazz, you don't want to foul the Los Angeles Lakers. You know that they're going to have to strike quickly.
He missed one. The ball is loose. Stockton is there. And the Utah Jazz to Thurl Bailey.
That's the ball game right there. They had a chance to get that ball. They couldn't get to it. Now with 8 seconds to go, Cooper for another 3.
Frank Layden for the last 2 days has been reading and hearing about too many one-liners, not taking it seriously enough.
Well, they just turned the ball over, or did they not? Down on the baseline, they tried to inbound the ball to John Stockton. They say no. Riley is saying foul, and the Jazz take a timeout.
The Utah Jazz holding on to a 2-point lead. There are 4 seconds left here at the Forum, and we will be back for the exciting conclusion of this game. But right now, let's go back to Craig Sager in Atlanta.
Thank you very much. For a while there, I thought it was over, but obviously not. Denver and Dallas appear to be an even match tonight, and with 4 minutes 47 seconds to play in the half, it was a 2-point game. But Dallas then went scoreless from the field. Denver went on a tear, and they opened up a 12-point lead at intermission. A 3-pointer right there by Mike Evans. Bat Lever, the big gun, second half, 2 of his 30 points. Follows up, gets the ball, puts it in. Lever was tough at both ends of the court. Fighting for a rebound underneath, takes it away from Roy Tarpley, puts it back in, and Denver wins game 1 easily, 126 to 115. Michael Jordan had an off night. I guess everybody's entitled to one. Here he has the turnover. He had only 1 field goal in the first half. Detroit scored the opening basket. Great hustle there by Dumars to Bill Laimbeer, to Vinnie Johnson. And underneath it goes to Laimbeer for the basket. Detroit took the opening basket, led throughout the entire game. Laimbeer misses from the outside. Vinnie Johnson, 12 rebounds, 9 of them from the offensive end. And it's a 93-82 win, Detroit over Chicago. We'll be back, of course, tomorrow night. We'll have the Atlanta Hawks and the Boston Celtics. But now back for those final seconds, Utah and the LA Lakers.
Okay, thank you, Craig. There you see the story. Utah, a 2-point lead, 4 seconds left.
Well, if the Lakers somehow get out of here with a victory tonight, you know they're on their way, feeling good about their chances, not having played their game. And the Utah Jazz have done everything to control them tonight. The Jazz want to make a good inbound play first. The Lakers will be trying to make a steal, and if they don't get it, they're going to foul very quickly. And, of course, you'd like to find someone other than John Stockton to put on the line in this situation.
Ivoroni will inbounds it. Utah has the only timeout left. Underneath the Bailey, Thurl Bailey, yes. And the Utah Jazz are going to go back to Salt Lake City dead even. What a big victory for the Utah Jazz. Frank Layden with all of his one-liners, and it is he who gets the last laugh here at the Forum. The final score, the Jazz 101, the LA Lakers 97. How big a win was this for the Utah Jazz? Not only does it even up the best-of-7 series at a game apiece, but look how long it's been since they've walked out of this building smiling.
Well, Pete, you look at that, but it's also